We're back for week 3 of ESL Pro League. Plenty more matches to come your way. Some teams have even managed to qualify as well. And the action is certainly going to be hotting up as some teams who you may expect to be within the top 6 and find their way trying to get themselves to the grand finals may not be quite there, and that's the case for our opening match of Cloud9 going up against Team Envy. It is going to be very interesting with the differences we've seen in Cloud9. Can they step it up against the team of Envy, who haven't shown us too much so far? And we'll be ending the day with Complexity going up against Rogue, and that one could be the difference between if either of these teams have a chance at qualifying or not. So before we take any more time, let's get this show underway.
Of which now stagnate within the site called Zera with a highway robbery. A third. Beautiful shots from Cold Zera. Kusta misses the shot, does put down the flames, but he's got a sidearm. Goodbye, Moose. Hello, Wardell. Kusta and Co just lock this down.
Killing everyone with
My
USB.
goodness. Confirming him there doesn't actually solve the problem. Someone's got to push in. They need to crack this open, which they will, until Fallen denies anything further. There you have it, folks. Gonna be caught with his pants down. Wardell trying to do all the work with this glass cannon AWP over towards Ivy. It may go into their hands, but that's if they can actually kill him. Shutting them down at the moment, and he will find himself the triple.
We are back and ready to bring you all the action of today's game. 4 matches ahead of us. But first, this man, he's a little bit smaller, a bit taller. He's certainly not finished.
James, I'm big.
Oh, you're big. Okay, you're big in height, right?
Yeah.
Big in height, but you're smaller in waist in comparison to Mr. Natu.
You said that.
Who's no longer ill and dying. He may be watching from home. He managed to survive 2 weeks, but you've come here to join us for your first week, week 3. But you're not feeling too well either, so you guys just trying to get me ill at this point.
We're just trying to get you ill. I don't know what it is, James. It's probably something that your body, puts out in the water, and it makes us ill. I don't know.
So you're blaming me now for the reason. Okay, I'll take that one. I'll take that one for now. But are you ready for some more North American Counter-Strike action? We've missed seeing you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I did the entire last season, and it was great times here. I think we had a lot of great games last season as well, and this season seems to be shaping up quite interesting as well. You touched upon it as well. Cloud9 not doing too well right now, and we're going to see them here play in a second as well, with a little bit of asterisk to the games as well. So I'm looking forward to see my first week of Pro League, how it's going to turn out, and if Cloud9 can actually find their footing back inside this Pro League.
Well, let's get you up to date, as well as all the viewers at home up to date, and have a look at the standings and exactly how things are playing out. Now, the first big talking point here, Pimp, MIBR and Ghost, they have both qualified already. They will not be able to be knocked from their top spots, and they've made it. Now, obviously, MIBR, we expect that. They had a slower start this season, but Ghost Gaming, these guys have impressed.
I'm super impressed by the way Ghost have been playing online as well as lane. I think we saw them for the first time at the SOTAC Cup in Hong Kong, where they did well. They got to a semi-final and actually were playing some decent Counter-Strike. Back then I thought, okay, this may be a decent sign for them. This may be a little bit of a fluke, coming out of a break as well. The teams they're playing against were definitely not in top shape, but they just kept on winning and kept on playing well Counter-Strike. So seeing them sitting in second place while you have a team like Cloud9 who's currently in a position where despite them winning the rest of the games, they can't even, they can't decide it themselves. They are now dependent on other teams to lose their points as well. So it's quite interesting to see how well they actually have been playing, and it's going to be super fun to see them in Odense later on this season.
Yeah, and this is what's made kind of the North American region a little bit more spicy and exciting this season so far. Just the fact that so much has gone wrong for so many teams with roster changes and stuff coming into it. But today's games, that's what we want to look at next. And that's what we want to kind of see actually turn around here and say, okay, what have we got? What can these two teams deliver? The Cloud9 versus Envy is where we'll be starting, and the Complexity versus Rogue where we'll be ending. Only 4 games today, or 4 maps should I say, but 4 maps that should deliver action. And we've got, you spoke about the asterisks, right, before on Cloud9. That is because they're currently over for Blast, so they'll be playing from Europe, which means pings will be maybe giving Envy a chance to get an additional few points here, but it's not really going to help them out considering they can't really qualify now.
No, I mean, EnVyUs have really been, I wouldn't say a big disappointment, because I don't think too many guys actually I thought they would do well, but the way they've been playing has just been, a disaster, basically. When you look at the recent results, they lose all the games, that's one thing, but the way they lose them, losing 16-6, 16-4, 16-3, 16-4, they're not even close of doing anything. So in that regard, they're really struggling finding their footing right now. They also just had a roster change playing with a new guy tonight. So both teams have this asterisk to them, and both teams are currently in a limbo where EnVyUs, obviously, nobody really expected them to do well, so that's maybe a given, whereas for Cloud9, people at least had a little bit higher expectations to flush a Golden coming into this team.
And I think that's the thing, right? We'll get into it in the pre-match, but there's so many things around the Cloud9 roster that, you've got the potential, but it's not quite there. When we look at the other matchup, right, we see Complexity taking on Rogue, MSL joining into Rogue. That's another big talking point, and it's only happened ever so recently, but he's already over in the States, right?
He already moved his entire package and his entire body to Las Vegas, so he's sitting in his new gaming house and apparently ready to play from there. Quite an interesting move. If I were to say it, I would suggest and I would expect MSL to be playing for a better team than Rogue without being disrespectful to the Rogue guys, but he's a very dignified caller, and he knows his way around Counter-Strike. Basically, one of the most experienced players as well within that Rogue team now. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can elevate their team play and elevate the team of Rogue. We saw Cadian doing it when he was playing with them. They actually had some decent results. The major was a fine showing of what Rogue were able to do as a team. Whatever MSL can do it as well, we're probably going to get the first sign of it tonight.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing that first sign, but now it is time for us to get ready and get into it for our Vodafone pre-match.
Vodafone presents the pre-match.
So between these two rosters, right, C9 taking on EnVy. If you'd watched any of the EnVy games of the past, like you were saying, the result-wise, you would just go, cool, Cloud9, you're probably going to take both maps here. Maybe we'll see a little bit of shining hope come out of EnVy, because we do see some individual plays happen eventually. But we kind of alluded to it, right? Cloud9 are over in Europe. They're playing from Europe. They're going to be playing with high ping, which does not make their lives easier. But do you think they still can go, okay, look, we can probably pug this out a little bit?
They should be able to. I know it's a big asterisk playing with such a high ping. I did it myself when I was playing for Liquid. I was sometimes practicing from my home in Denmark with the guys from Los Angeles. Quite a big difference in distance. So it was not easy to play with that ping, but it's not like you just completely become a potato. You can still play the game. You still know how to move around the map. You still know your tactics, and you should still be able to outclass your opponents. Obviously, it's not going to be easier with the ping difference, but given the fact that Cloud9 are so much better players pound for pound and should be the better team, I still think they have a decent chance of taking this series 2-0. But that said, if EnVyUs ever had a chance of actually making a result and making maybe a little bit of bright side for themselves, now also considering they had a roster change and trying, to revamp this bad start this team got, then it would be tonight against Cloud9. They could crush the dreams and potentially send Cloud9 out of the distance from making top 6.
And that's the thing, right? If EnVy get away with this kind of freak win or maybe get both maps, then it really puts the pressure on Cloud9 on a whole different level here. So it's probably a bit of like, oh, okay, if you're Cloud9, well, we need to go to the LAN, but at the same time, if we don't qualify, this is going to look really bad. We're expected to qualify with the roster we have. But it's Mirage, right? Mirage is a map that we've seen from EnVy only a couple of times. They haven't won any games on it yet. But you look at it on the Cloud9 roster, with this current lineup, it's actually not a bad map for them. So I guess a bit more of that kind of pug style can play into it, less kind of drilled out and tactical side of things. We know Golden can be a great in-game leader, but do you think he's got now enough in terms of what he's built with this roster and the whole thing with Skadoodle kind of leaving? Because that's another thing, right? We've got to work out, is Skadoodle playing here, or is he not playing in this one, or where does he go from here? Do we see a coach playing? There's so many options here. It's
either going to be him or Valence, the coach. Obviously, Skadoodle playing would be the better thing. He's still in NA, I assume. So he will be having the normal ping. So it'll probably be going towards Skadoodle, and that will be the guy to make the plays for Cloud9. As for Valence, he's a coach. Obviously not a professional Counter-Strike player anymore. So that will be a big asterisk. And that's where I would, tip it over and say, if Valence is playing, then I would expect EnVyUs to be able to clinch a win here, despite the fact that it is Mirage, as you said, and it is a very puck-style map. That said, though, I think Cloud9 is currently with the mentality that their season so far have not been good at all. And if they can just, win this game against EnVyUs, and if they can get away with this win despite them playing with high ping, they'll be happy with that and still take this as a bonus thing. I don't think Cloud9 at this moment expect to qualify for Odense, but if they do, they'll be happy with it. And they sort of like put themselves in a position where they give themselves an excuse for not qualifying. If they lose tonight, they're just going to blame it on the ping, and they're not going to take it as hard on themselves as saying, had we been at home, we would probably have won this game. Whereas if they win, they're going to be happy and still in the run for a player spot.
It's a very good point to make, but looking over at this EnVy side, right, they're also going through changes of their own. Semphis has already departed the lineup. We're going to see Polo come in and play here tonight. does that give us any more hope of seeing some kind of spark or some kind of maybe extra momentum, extra confidence, extra style come out of Envy? Or am I really pulling at straws here that there's just nothing going to change?
You're pulling a straw here. I mean, EnVyUs was supposed to be in a honeymoon period with Semphis, and if that was the best version of EnVyUs in their honeymoon period, I would have loved to see what Semphis could do with this lineup in a month. That would probably be a 16-0 loss every single time they played.
Wow.
This lineup is far from what they should be. I think Nifty is currently scratching his head and thinking to himself, why did I leave a well-functioning a Renegades team that had shown potential at times for playing for a team like EnVyUs right now. It's a team where the players on the team individually, of course, they have skill, they have abilities they can put into the team. But when you look at the composition of the players on the team, you have JDM, you have Nifty, two AWP players. Like, who's gonna be the main AWPer for the team, and who's gonna back down and be a rifle player? Well, that's the thing, right? And he's not necessarily known for being good with the rifle. So, I mean, both players have to give and take in that scenario. And when you just look at the lineup and when you look at the way they play, they're just not doing anything good for themselves. So I'm having a hard time seeing that will change tonight. This EnVyUs project, for me, is a long shot. And that's not only required, one change, not only Semphis going out and Polo coming in. There may be a good change. They may play a little bit better. But this lineup needs at least a few more changes and a few more, I would say ambition is probably the key word here. I don't think the lineup itself shines and tells us that this is a very ambitious project from EnVyUs. I think this is just a placeholder for when they will have a good team in the future. And
I think that's a thing to point out to viewers at home as well, is that this is a very fair criticism of it, because the results haven't spoken as what we'd kind of hope. It's an Envy lineup. Remember, this Envy roster, previously being back in the French scenes, right, was expected to be at the highest levels of Counter-Strike.
They were winning majors. They were going far in tournaments all the time, and now we have a team who's about to back out of Pro League, with a very poor scoreline.
And that's never what you want, right, when you're representing a big organisation like that. So it's time for them to try and make a difference and find a change here. Yeah. One of the things that me and Natu spoke about, and I'd love to get your thoughts on this, Jacob. So Nifty, obviously, he's known for being on the AWP. He's not getting that role here in Envy. Does this potentially be a thing where Cloud9 just go, cool, Skadoodle's gone, we need to bring someone else in?
I mean, that would be the obvious pickup had you said that 6 months ago, I would say. Nifty was in a very good period. He was playing for Renegades, and they were having a good time as well. So the Renegades were producing results, and Nifty was sort of like the catalyst behind this team, being the in-game leader and also being the MVP player. So it would make sense if he came into Cloud9. He can AWP, he can help Golden with some calling, he can come in with some fresh ideas. As for now, though, we haven't seen anything from Nifty in quite some time. And it's one of those scenarios where you know what he's capable of. You've seen it just 6 months ago. So obviously he still has that skill. So if you come into a setting like Cloud9, he comes into a team where he's actually being gifted a role and has a certain purpose with his play, then I think he would flourish, and I think he would be a great player. Whatever Cloud9 is willing to take that risk now that Nifty have not played well the past 6 months, that's where I'm questioning what they're going to do. I mean, Cloud9 have a lot of different routes they can go with player they're going to pick up. You heard Kiyoshima, he's going to play as a stand-in for the Blast Pro Series tournament, so that's a very interesting pickup. Not necessarily the type of player I would say they need, but then again, you saw MSL win an MVP title playing the MVP role, which is not something you see every day.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen in Counter-Strike. As long as the game is alive, then you know what, there's no rules for it.
Now, we have just heard in our ears as well that Skadoodle will be playing tonight, so he'll be playing for America. Maybe he needs to be the shining star, the MVP of the day for them, and just deliver his best performance. It's been quite funny, though, Pimp. When we've watched throughout these games, he's actually performed better since saying, like, yeah, cool, no pressure on. We've saw him pick up the rifle. Automatic's been the one on the AWP, which just confused the hell out of me. Yeah. Fair wave, if you want to try and do that, maybe they're planning for Automatic to be on the AWP at some point. You never know. But either way, he has actually had performances where he's outshined the likes of Flusher. He's outshined Rush and stuff like that. Because I guess it's just a bit more of a relaxing moment for him now.
It's the constant pressure you're on when you're a professional Counter-Strike player. Skadoodle has probably been thinking about retiring for quite some time. So he's still practicing with the team. He's still, going with this mindset of him own, I may retire now, I may wait a month, I may wait half a year. So he's not fully focused on his game. And when you're in such a period as a player, you're not in the game. You're not fully in the game. It's the small percentage that differs from Skadoodle being on point and Skadoodle being a potato, basically, in the game. So in that regard, it doesn't surprise me as much as it may sound to the guys out there. Whenever you get that pressure off your shoulder, you just play for fun. That's often when you see the best players shine, And Skadoodle is an incredible talent at the game. He's very well playing when he's on form and in shape, and he's definitely a great talent for the game. He doesn't need to play a lot of Counter-Strike to know how to do it. So in that regard, I'm not surprised, but I will expect him, especially in a matchup like this, to shine a little bit more now that he's playing from home, and he has to be the catalyst for this win.
And you talk about him being the catalyst for it. It's an individual ability we know he can deliver. This EnVy roster, though, they've got everything going in their favor here of Cloud9. Most of the roster, not in America. Only Skadoodle going to be there. Surely this is where EnVy can pick up a map. Surely this is where we go, oh, okay, look, EnVy, this is your chance to put that practice to work. Because for me, we're in the 3rd week already. We're not seeing too much better results come out of EnVy just yet. I want to see them, they've grinded out the practice, putting that to work. I want to see some actual results where we can go, oh, okay, look, there's potential here.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And you want to see the star players shine as well. You have JDM, who's a player for a year ago. He was supposed to be one of the best AVPs, not only in NA, but in the world. There was this constant discussion about, is it Skadoodle who's the best? Is it JDM? Then now Nifty came into that conversation as well. But you haven't really seen JDM at the same level he had when he was playing at CLG or when I was playing with him in Liquid at certain times. So we need to see him step up. Josh, you need to get your shit under control, as they do say. Nifty as well. He's a player that has the abilities. We saw it in Renegade 6 months ago. We saw it a year ago. He was a guy who at LAN events were able to play the absolute best Counter-Strike he's ever played. So you want to see those 2 players shine, and then the rest of the guys can just, come in here and there when needed, and hopefully that'll be enough against 150 ping playing Cloud9.
Well, it is time for us to bring in a couple of fresh faces, at least to the North American broadcast here with us. It is going to be Hugo and Harry. Now, just to note about these guys, they started on EU. They were like, cool, we've done that, aced it, nailed it, no problem. They come on to NA, they're like, let's test our North American knowledge. Are you going to Asia next, maybe? You're going to go tackle that region?
We're all over it. Hugo's got a list. He's checking it twice.
He's just like, okay.
Wrong season. Yeah, it is. It's Halloween, not Christmas. I'm always getting those 2 mixed up, I
thought you were, see, I was running with that guy, and just a list, man. Like you can tick off the list of your prep.
I appreciate you trying to help me out. Hugo, meanwhile, just,
right under the bus.
Yeah, throws me under the bus, as usual.
What we come to expect from you two, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
But you're on the North American side of things. Obviously, you guys would have done your research. You would have seen how EnVy's performance has been, what Cloud9's been doing. Let's just tackle this EnVy topic at the moment, because where we were leaving off here. What do you guys personally think? Because Pimp, he was kind, but harsh at the same time, and respectably harsh.
I think it's so hard to expect anything again. Already seeing a team build a roster just weeks before the season of Pro League, and a lot of people saying, okay, this roster kind of only exists because of that core, because obviously we have those Splice guys from relegation coming through, and EnVy adding in a couple of pretty experienced players around that, in the likes of JDM and Nifty, but definitely not finding the success they would hope for. And now with a benching coming through, Poyo being added, this team is just, it's hard to call it a team because they've just not had the time.
Yeah. And I mean, in relation, there are a few situations where you see these teams suddenly pop up, where you do manage to get the Pro League slot from it, and they never normally do that well. I can't ever think of one where a team's been thrown together the week before and we've been like, wow, what a sick team.
Exactly.
And for me, Nifty was always someone with a lot of talent. I don't know if for him, he's personally feeling good about being in this team. There was that whole thing that he put out just saying how he's been feeling pretty down. So yeah, I don't know. It's not amazing right now, at least.
It's not looking good, is it?
No, and I'd be feeling down if I was him as well, right? If you're one of the only few players on the team putting up numbers on the scoreboard and you still can't make things work, you can't even grab 10 rounds at max.
And then on top of that, you build this roster, and after about 2 months, you're back down to MDL. Certainly not fun.
Yeah.
Well, your old roster is about to qualify for the playoff, right? Renegades is actually playing pretty Counter-Strike,
this
it couldn't be worse.
So well, hasn't it?
He's like, I was at the top, then I went down a little bit, and oh god, I've hit rock bottom. I don't know where I'm going from here.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
The Cloud9 side of things, though, right? Will this give EnVy some hope? The fact that only Skadoodle is playing for America.
I mean, this is one thing to remember. If EnVy can't win this game, they're playing with 150 ping, James.
Yeah. I mean, I tell you what, though, you say that, but there was a time last season where we had a few weeks of MIBR playing from SK
well,
at the time, and Optic as well, and those were never series where they just got wrecked, right? Because they still did a decent job of mitigating the kind of ping issue. Actually, I don't know if you've ever played on higher ping or anything like that.
Yeah,
how badly does it actually get to you?
I mean, it can be bad. It also depends on what server they're playing. Obviously, there's a difference playing with 110 ping or 170, which is the worst case scenario. So it's tough, and especially if it's the entire team. When I was playing in Liquid, sometimes I practiced from Denmark, so it was only me who were having those weak aim duels, and only me not doing my job properly. But when you have an entire team besides Skadoodle playing with that high ping, I would agree with you. If EnVyUs is not able to win this game, then there's no way and no reason for them to even play in this league anymore. They need to go down, rebuild this team, and come back when they're good enough, because it's again, can you win against Cloud9 with a stand-in with 150 ping? You're just not good enough to be a professional player playing in this league.
You could 1v5 them yourself.
Yeah.
I probably could.
You know what I think mitigates the ping issue a little bit? The fact they're playing on ESCA servers. Play.esca.net, by the way, for anyone who's curious about that.
There we go.
128 tick supremacy in that regard, yeah.
You know all
Sorry,
about
James,
that.
mate, just stealing your job.
No,
what's going on? Yeah, man, you can get this one off. It's all good. You know, we got it. We're cruising in. Yeah, no, for Cloud9, I think they've been a little bit underwhelming thus far. Like, I was really excited. You see, like, Flusher, Golden in here. Then you have, like, Keo obviously playing with them at Blast, and I believe, like, he was maybe going to play with them here, but now isn't for some reason. Obviously, that's a little bit terrible. They're not doing amazingly, though, right? I think they're, like, what, 7th in the... Yeah, so certainly not, if you think about, you know, this is Cloud9, not the same roster that won the major, but yeah, they do need this win. Every win becomes important now. That's the beauty of these late games in the season.
The positive thing for Cloud9, when you look at them, I think we can all agree the results haven't been as hoped for them, but like the way they lose the game is, it's not like they get blown out by any means. Like EnVyUs losing 16-4, 16-3, 16-2. Cloud9 is getting 14 rounds or 13 rounds or 12 rounds. So there's like something to build from. There's a fundament that is currently being built up with Golden as the in-game leader, Flusher coming over. So they have a project that actually has a future. Whereas for EnVyUs, it seems like, as I said before, just a placeholder team because they wanted the Pro League spot. Hopefully they find a way to rebrand the team and maybe, you know, get good at the game again. But for now, it's just an EnVyUs who's here just to be a placeholder for another team who's going to move up.
Bit of a punching bag, maybe.
A punching bag is a fine word.
Well, they could be a punching bag. We'll find out very shortly. What we're going to do now, though, is take a look at one of our Mirage pro tips for you guys newer to the game to learn how you can exactly throw them flashes and them smokes and execute correctly, something Envy will definitely need to do on this map.
Hey Future Pros, it's not my rage, it's Mirage, and today we're going to be smoking Palace. This is a nifty little smoke for when you are playing the try-box position and you want to throw a quick, safe Palace smoke. If thrown correctly, you shouldn't be visible from ramp or someone peeking out of Palace. To throw the smoke, take 1 or 2 steps away from the try-box. Aim at the top of the A slightly to the right side. Then do a quick run jump throw, and with a little luck you will have nailed this smoke without giving the T a chance to punish you.
We're back and we're better than ever, Harry, over on the NA side of things. We're going to be starting off pretty shortly with Cloud9 EnVyUs. What are you thinking? Where are you leaning? And I hope it is the way of Envy for this.
Cloud9, mate.
Yeah.
2-0. I'm not even kidding.
Really?
Yeah, you know, I just haven't really seen much from this Envy squad, and I don't really think ping is going to be like the biggest issue if you're Cloud9, right? Like, you know, if you're Flusher in the gang, you're getting online, you have 150p, you got nothing to lose, but also all the games are important, right? So they're still going to be trying. That's like the weird thing in that sense, right? It's very easy to chalk this up to like, oh, you know, we lost for playing on high ping, but for Cloud9, like they need these wins. They need them if they want to secure their spot in the Pro League finals.
And take into account, you know, Cloud9. Okay, maybe they've got this high ping, Harry, but they are playing from Denmark. They are playing from near the city of Odense, which everyone loves, everyone knows.
Best country in the world, arguably.
What, Odense?
No,
not a country.
No, Denmark. Everyone's favorite CS country, at least. And they love CS in this country.
They've done pretty well. And obviously, those finals going to be over here as well in December in not too long. That'll be really exciting.
Not too long. Everyone's favourite unit of those.
It's like the 4th till the 9th, but I didn't want to get it wrong.
How many not too longs in a week, Hugo?
There's 7 not too longs in a week.
So it's just a not too long as a day then, isn't it?
And not many
just rebranded the day.
Well,
literally reinvented the wheel.
In this not too long, we are going straight into the game, Harry. It is going to be Cloud9 versus EnVy, the first match of the night. We only have 4 games today on the NA side of things as we start to reach the latter end of the season. And Cloud9 over on Mirage, starting things off on the T side, lots of utility and going for a bit of an A play, whereas EnVy, they set up for retake.
Yeah, they're going to go pushing on in, and well, they haven't exactly done it too much just yet. The bomb goes down, and for EnVy, they're going to have to retake this. Now, Cloud9, all 5 players inside of this bomb site, trying to push in towards CT, and they are able to pick up that first man. Drone now posted up here. Obviously, EnVy in a bit of an awkward spot with recently benching Sempis. Let's see how this new squad, when I say new, you know, the new man's fares, he's already been dropped from this round. So just JDM and Nifty left up, and Nifty's managed 2 quick kills. He might have just made this possible, and JDM actually going to swing on in now as well. Wow. Surely they don't manage to pull this back from what was a 2v5. JDM left up, going to try and deal with Skadoodle, the man that just cannot seem to retire, and he's going to keep on hitting shots here in the server. Hugo, Cloud9 find the pistol. Yeah, 4 kills. Bring him back, Harry. We want this guy on the server again. I'd love to know if Elay is playing right now, or if this is Poyo playing on Elay's account, because Elay obviously being the coach of Splice, the prior team that had this core of EnVy players. Now I assume he is still the coach of EnVy, but I don't know whether he's actually playing or if it's someone on his account, so maybe we can get that clarified. But that's quite interesting to see. Either way, potentially Elay back in the driving seat here for Team EnVyUs, but they've crashed, Harry. They have... They've not started off too well. It's Cloud9 taking that pistol and a bit of an A play to come into the second round. They're here with 3 AKs after all. Just going speedily into the bomb site. We've got Flusher and Golden playing on Glocks as well. They're saving a bit of money for the future, trying to be economical. Just had this clarified. That is Elay.
Oh, interesting.
There's some big news. We got the coach boy in the server, and I'm always a big fan of that. I always have a lot of respect for the coaches, you know, rally the call. My goodness, the block kills coming in. Golden somehow find a double. Nifty, he's just gaming. He's just gaming away. Picks up a quick double, Hugo, with that USP. And now he's going to be joining up with Cutler, the man that I always used to call Rel 2, which is just embarrassing.
On purpose.
Nifty. Oh my goodness. 3 kills with the USP in this round. He's done so much damage to Cloud9. They just cannot catch the break they wanted. They were hoping to keep that pretty clean. Hugo, what are your thoughts on the fact that this is Skadoodle's 2nd time retiring and he's still playing just as much CS as ever?
I mean... There's always that question, right, with ex-Cloud9 players. You had Shroud go, but he actually did disappear. So, you know, Skadoodle wants to go. He should go talk to Mike and find out how it works. That being said, Mike is making a lot of money off streaming. But, yeah, I don't want Skadoodle to quit, Harry. He's playing fantastically into this game already. But the problem is, Flash has already gone down. EnVy, they found the first couple of picks into this round. JDM going to be chiming in. He drops Rush up on middle, so now things start to get very, very complicated for Cloud9. EnVy, no reason to peek or play aggressive here. They can afford to give away mid. Drone does peer down into the ramp position, so EnVy are going to get a bit aggressive in this round and afford a bit of a D-stack as well. Cutler's even going to cut down the boost. And just like that, Cloud9, they're stuck on a 2-on-5. And this one should be EnVy's every day of the week.
Golden and Skadoodle left on up for Cloud9 here. Skadoodle up in the apartment going to get domed as JDM picks him up. The timing almost comedic. Golden. She's going to go ahead and fluff that smoke a little bit up towards short. There is a man lying in wait over here in the window. Golden does manage to just slip on by for the time being, but he's got a lot to do. A 1v5 is certainly no easy feat. I'm going to see exactly why there. Cutler able to shut him down, and Team EnVy going to be coming in with their first round on the board.
The first of how many is the question. This team has been struggling so far in the Pro League. Currently sitting down 1-13 right now, Harry. That's it's not the best of stats, I guess you could say, but let's see if they can bounce back tonight with Cloud9 playing with a very high ping, and that's never fun covering your online games from Europe if you are in that North American region. So 2-1 down to pistols for Cloud9. And a bit of a mid-play already coming through. Skadoodle's going to go down. JDM does spot somewhat of a window play, but Cloud9 just running in through the connector and into their death. Elay finding the first man there. And this should just be a bit of a done deal for Envy. They shouldn't have too many problems. No casualties just yet. Cloud9 going desperate. Boost coming in once again, but this should not be a kill. JDM is ready for it. Just like that. Golden, last man to fall. Cloud9 going to be dropping their second round here to Envy, and things starting to equal up on the server as Cloud9 will come in with a spy in the upcoming round. They're going to have, well, I was going to say everything they need, but Flush is only on 3,300 right now.
Hugo, you and I, we like to look at facts. We like to try and teach everyone. The issue is, I tried to keep it topical. I tried to look up facts about gold for our boy, our local Swede, Golden, over on Cloud9. The issue is gold is just a pretty dull metal. It's expensive, it's rare, and other than that, it's pretty useless. So we won't bother looking at any of them. Instead, we're going to keep our eye on Automatic, who is going to go ahead and actually fall a little bit short. Instead, it's the rest of the boys having to put in the work. Cutler going to manage a quick double, but Skadoodle leading the charge, saying that he's going to get slam dunked by everyone's favorite basketball player, Drone. Now just Automatic left on up, and he has been donning this AWPing role within this team. That's something that I did learn while I was doing this NA stuff a little bit briefly, Hugo, was Skadoodle hasn't been picking up the AWP. It has been Automatic. And he's going to look to try and show us why.
Oh. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah, the 7,000 ping warrior himself pushing on forward.
Ouch.
And into the arms of Nifty, who's just been playing lights out thus far. 6 and 2, Hugo. What if I told you 5 of them were with USPs?
I believe you, because I also saw that pistol round.
Well, you only got 2 in the
Oh, yeah.
3 were in the...
3 were in the, the rifle round.
Yeah, which makes it even more impressive.
Guess I
If
wasn't
you want to
watching after
undersell
all.
our boy Nifty, then you can, Hugo.
Well, let's get into round number 6 here. Cloud9, not much to play with once again. We've even got the Tech 9, and that's when you know things are not looking good. Nade early to the top of middle. Elay's got to watch out. There's a lot of players on this other side. Smoke going down, JDM getting tagged, and Elay gets dropped in the connector as well. That nade won't be able to finish anyone off, and Cloud9 have grabbed himself a gun. Flush has got armor, but he's got no face, and JDM's found another kill as well to put Cloud9 down into a 2-on-4. That boost is going to get cut, and Skadoodle, he's all that remains now for Cloud9. Not for too much longer. Nifty keeping up his fine form. And Envy, 4-2. This is a great start to the map, but we've got another rifle round here from Cloud9. Let's see what they can get done with it. No AWP. Unless Skadoodle drops it over. And, they did get it after all. So, Automatic forfeiting armor. I mean, Skadoodle could have dropped it and had body armor, but hey, whatever works for Cloud9. JDM been playing well so far. He's been hitting his shots. That's what we want to see, especially when Cloud9 don't really have that same AWPing power anymore.
For me, it's JDM and Nifty who have both looked utterly fantastic. And the fact that they're getting off to a good start here is going to start to maybe spell a bit of disaster for Cloud9. They might be playing on high pings. They might be able to mentally write this game off in that sense. But the wins for Cloud9 become very important here. We've been speaking about how their results haven't exactly been perfect. So they do need these wins, Hugo. Cutler, he's gone pushing on through the Palace. He's into the back line, and he's already got a decent bit of information from this. And this also means JDM can now just very leisurely sit back and keep his eye on connector. Rush going to be the first man to get plucked on off. And Cutler might just miss the timing here. And indeed he does. Flush is going to go ahead and remove him from this round. So we are back into a 4-on-4.
But look at this setup from Envy. They've pushed another man in the Palace to make up for Cutler going down, and as a result, it's allowed them to triple set up on B. Now, this does give Cloud9 a lot of room to go for annoying plays like sneaking through connector and wrapping jungle, or even boosting window here. And Skadoodle's certainly got a couple of options available, but Flush is going to be coming in to this A site at the same time. The thing is, this bomb's outside of B, so Cloud9 right now set up for default, seeing if Envy are getting aggressive, making sure they have their tracks covered. Fake thrown out towards that A bomb site from Flush, trying to force rotations, and he's done a good job of making Drone start to question it and go back through the CT spawn. Now, Envy, who are still running a double B setup, are going to be tested. JDM does catch that cross shot. Automatic can't get the trade. Nifty's gone down on the bench. 19 seconds left up. Perfect Molotov, but Nifty's going to move before it. Automatic gets taken down, and just like that, it is Flusher alone. 10 seconds. This is done. Nifty's going to find a couple more on the bomb site, and it is that dynamic duo again of Nifty and JDM to drag Envy through. They are sitting at 9 and 11 kills respectively. Not a bad start to this map, Harry.
No, definitely not. And I mean, these are the two that we want to see showing up early on. For Cloud9, they still haven't found anything since the pistol and the anti-eco. And I mean, this is the perfect recipe for Envy to find these wins here. If we're being honest, right, we've been saying how there's a good chance just with, you know, the asterisk being by this game or the high ping for the majority of the Cloud9 guys because they are playing from EU. But, you know, this is exactly what we needed to see. We couldn't have had Envy come out the gates looking flat on JDM and Nifty. They're certainly not disappointing right now. Really going to get helped out there by Cutler. The flash is still raining on it, so Cloud9 will be afforded a bomb plant here at the very least. Envy already knocking on their door, starting to rotate players on in, and JDM with that AWP just homing in his sights. Going to be hoping he can maybe trade that frag out as Ely does get dropped by Golden. Time ticking down, about half of that gone right now, so Envy know that they're on the clock here. They have to try and speed this up, and Drone's the man that's going to try and make that happen, but he's going to get brought down low. Skadoodle is going to be able to finish things off, and now Nifty spearheading this offensive, this retake back into the bomb site, but they're not ready for Skadoodle. This man, he's doing the damage, and Skadoodle's going to find absolutely everything. My goodness, get him out of retirement, get him back in a Cloud9 jersey. That's what I'm saying, Hugo. 11 and 5, he's looking absolutely fantastic right now.
He has 3 more kills than the entirety of his team put together right now. That is obscene. Wow. Sick play from Skadoodle. And going back to what you were saying as well, this is very important for Envy in terms of picking up these wins. I haven't done the maths myself, but I wouldn't be surprised if they are up for relegation. Like at this point, almost guaranteed, right? Because we're pretty late into the season. They've only won a single map of Counter-Strike carry across 13 played.
And they might be able to get their 14. Second win here tonight.
Yeah, let's see if they can do that.
Major winners. Cloud9.
A couple of them.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, more than a couple. We got Flasher in here as well. Ooh, JDM already starting things off on the stairs. He shut down Rush. The push through ramp is getting segued away by Cloud9. Molotov will land in dark, and that window boost gets caught by Elay. That leaves just Skadoodle up here on ramp, and JDM finishes off automatic in the palace. Cloud9 torn apart in that round. I'd love to see the pings on the scoreboard if possible, just to get an idea of what we're playing with for Cloud9. For those unaware, maybe just joining us, we've got Cloud9 playing from Europe right now. They are attending Blast.
Also, I said I was going to try and get us some gold facts, but I mentioned none were that interesting. Here's some interesting gold facts for you. I crunched the numbers on this one. Actually, interesting buy decision here from Cloud9. So we're going to try and get this out of the way ASAP. And every cubic mile of seawater, Hugo, there's 25 tons of gold.
Wow.
That's 10 billion tons of gold in the oceans, but there's no economic way of getting it out.
Wait, why not? Just dig it.
Just dig into the ocean.
If it's worth 10 billion, surely it's going to be worth
more than
it to
10
get it
billion,
out.
mate.
Didn't they say 10 billion?
I don't know. I don't know what they're saying. I don't even know if it's real. But
whatever
look at
fact
this.
you just said.
Look at this, Hugo. Ooh. The golden boy for Cloud9 actually going to be the first to get decimated. So JDM, he's found an economic way of getting gold out of this round. Automatic. Going to get bested as well. Actually, everyone falls, so the buy from Cloud9 really just does not pan out.
And 3 kills from Cutler. Sleeping on him a little bit. He's up at 10 and 5, having a nice game alongside the likes of Nifty and JDM. I mean, really, everyone is having a good game on Envy, apart from... sorry. I don't know where I was going with that. Essentially, the point I was trying to get to is Cloud9 are not having a good game. Skadoodle is having a fantastic game, but everyone else is absolutely bombing it right now. So that needs to turn around if Cloud9 want this victory. And, you know, this is far more important for them, you know, versus Envy, a team that is definitely going to be in that bottom 3 spot, definitely up for some form of relegation, whether that is automatic or they've got to play their matches for relegation. That's in question. For Cloud9, they could make finals. They just need to start getting some wins, and this has got to be one of them. But with Glocks and a lone P250 in round number 11, I'm not holding out for this. Boosting the window. That's the bomb. Ouch. That's a big old mistake right there.
Yeah, that bomb getting dropped early on, that's devastating for Cloud9. It's up in the window. And that's like, you know, when your football or something goes through a neighbor's window, now it's just in there. And they're trying to break on him, mate. They're trying to get it out, but Ely, he's going to go ahead and lock down the fort, leaving all the pressure onto just Flusher. And he goes jumping on down in the Nifty, Hugo. So he's instantly dealt with. One man we haven't really seen all too much from just yet, it feels like, is our boy Drone. You know where there's lots of drones, Hugo?
Where?
Odense.
Really?
Yeah, the road to Odense, trto.co, by the way, if you want to head over to the website. Yeah, it's Odense is the largest hub in Europe for robots and drones. Bet you didn't know that. There's a fun drone fact for you.
Shame we won't see him at those finals. That's
There'll be some drones there.
Just not the drone that we really want, Harry. This is
actually, there'll be a lot of drones there. I bet.
Maybe he didn't want to, you know, get blown out the water by all those drones. Well, either way, Cloud9 looking to blow EnVy out of this B bomb site. They're going quickly up through short. Nifty not going to be able to hit the initial shots. Drone's already gone down, and Golden's found a couple of frags. Rush also catching rotations, and just like that, even with automatic coming in through the connector to make matters worse for EnVy, Cloud9 have finally found success once again down on this B bomb site. 4 rounds going to be taken here by the T side. And JDM 17-3 right now. He is just absolutely gaming, but he's double scoped in, and Rush is going to duck below, keeping things close, and Cloud9 taking a nice convincing round on this T side.
Yeah, 8-4 right now. Team EnVy still leading the charge. Though tactical timeout called on in, and they've used quite a few of them. That's a surprising thing to me. I guess, you know, when you are currently bottom of the board in Pro League, 1 win to your name. Every map counts in its own special way. That's the one thing for me, right? They can actually still rise up in theory and get out of this rather awful spot that they're in right now, right? They've played less games than the likes of Luminosity, than Rogue. You know, that's pretty much it. But they can at least rise above those two, right? Or even if you get out of that instant relegation spot, that's like the main thing for EnVy right now.
And those are the 10 and 11 teams. That's pretty important, right? Yeah. Well, let's see if they can bounce back in this round, try and get that reset to Cloud9 nice and early. Fast Molotov. The Rush is going to go right through it. He's down to 50. That nade's going to chunk even further. Cloud9 looking to burst this B bomb site. Nifty's on the other side. They'll go right past him. They'll jump over his head, and Drone's actually going to take the kill away from Nifty. But look at the middle of the site. Rush is there, not for long. And Team EnVy will control the B bomb site after all.
Yeah, Golden tries to sneak out in the meantime over here towards A. He's going to get put down, and now Cutler from within CT, locking it down. The 4 automatic has come rotating around. He's out from ramp. Going to be looking to rejoin with Skadoodle here. A 2v4, this is going to require some absolutely monstrous shots. And already Ely's going to go ahead and catch Skadoodle on the cross. So automatic, left in a 1v4, open-handed. He's got it all to do. The bomb is going to be down and out in the open as well. And Team EnVy just playing this perfectly. Aren't giving him any sort of fight to work with. No means of getting back into this round. Doesn't have any utility either, so he's got to dry peek into this. And as he does so, JDM going to go ahead and get rid of him. Team EnVy going to move up 9-4 here, Hugo. And, yeah, I mean, they've looked good thus far. And, you know, shout out to Ely. Yeah, he's actually doing a great job.
I was about to say, he's playing some good Counter-Strike. Yeah. He's not, you know, going off and fragging every round, I mean, but like, he's just making good decisions.
Yeah, exactly, right. You can tell, like, maybe they're being every now and again coming in with, you know, like, Ely, man, just sit back. He's not overextending. He's not peeking. He's not trying to do anything just, like, dumb. Making some great decisions, looking good.
This is the guy you want to set up your team. You know, get those flashbangs in, help your team actually find success. You're not here to be the fragger, and of all people who know that, the coach would be one of them.
Yeah.
So EnVy currently giving it to Cloud9 here on Mirage as we have this quick A burst. Cutler, he's deep in the CT spawn. The smokes are starting to go raining on through. We've seen less teams smoke the CT spawn recently because it allows it to be easily able to boost back up and abuse this. Cutler not going to be able to do that, but he does shoot through it, and that Molotov actually does kill Skadoodle going for the bomb plant. So Cloud9, they are down a man. Flash to the spawn, automatic, looking the wrong way, and Rush is going to have to pick up that AK if they want to actually win this post plant.
But already Cutler and a drone shutting them down, and now just Flusher left on up here in the palace. The Swedish prince has to try and lock in at this round, and a 1v4 going to be required. High ping warrior Flusher, only good for 1. Sadly, that is him coming to a close. Team EnVy going to move up 10-4 here, Hugo. And just 1 away from a very, very... I mean, no, even a 10-5 half is fantastic. But, you know, if they can get this 11-4, pissed around and all it's really going to take in that second half to try and cement this one as a win. And, you know, we keep on saying it, but this is important for either one of these teams. Cloud9 currently finding themselves in 7th place. They also, I think, you know, important to note, they've got 1 more series other than this left to play, if I'm not mistaken. No, actually, I think this is it. I think this is their last game. No, it's not.
No, they're going to have 1 more after that.
I couldn't be more wrong.
Yeah, 1 more after that. Either way.
Actually, 2 more.
Bit of a fast connector push here for Cloud9, splitting that A bomb site. Bomb again going in first. Why did so many teams do that? It will not work out. Luckily, Flusher's leaping and bounding his way to success up on the stairwell. Bomb yet to be picked up, and Nifty going to try and move in. It's been retrieved by Flusher. Smoke is going to cut off Nifty, and he won't be able to find that kill, but it's okay. EnVy have given up this A-bomb site. They're playing for retake. JDM's got to find this kill and connector, and he does flick back down. 17 HP, and Flusher cleans up that player. And now it is just Nifty, who may catch a kill after all through the smoke. Golden goes for it, and now it's Flusher having to clutch it out with the AWP.
Oh, but that smoke has rained on in. Flusher has to try and find them through it. They tap on the bomb, and now they know. But Flusher, he's found Nifty. Surely not Cutler as well. He's sweating bullets, but he's doing a good job of dodging them. And Flusher, try as he might, can't lock in that round. Team EnVy going to go ahead and pick themselves up an 11th. So close, yet so far, Hugo. And ultimately, it's not going to be enough. And all in all, pretty decent half here. Good stuff from Nifty and JDM especially. But, you know, the other boys haven't exactly disappointed us. Over on the side of Cloud9, for the most part, we've been looking towards Skadoodle.
Yeah, other than that, I would say it has been pretty disappointing. We've seen a couple of rounds of Flusher's found some crucial kills, but other than that, Cloud9 looking far slower than that of what we expect. We've got to give them that big asterisk. So, okay, they're playing in Europe on a North American server. This is going to screw your ping up. Definitely going to have problems in that sense, but major winners, and they're struggling up against the bottom team here in the Pro League. And with some people saying, okay, yeah, it's not easy to play with this ping. It's certainly not going to completely stop you. And hey, their ping's actually not even that bad, Harry. 70 to 90, obviously not what you want for a professional game, let's not lie, but it's not quite 150.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be way higher than that. When I watched, I think it was the old SK or maybe NRG, or Optic rather.
Optic,
I saw them play at one point with like 150 ping, and I think MIBR were even able to win that game when they played it.
One thing I do know as well is the mastermind of North American Counter-Strike, Connor Gervin, Scrawny, NA caster over here on the Pro League. Man, he plays with 100 ping with us, and he frags like crazy. So we're going to need Cloud9 to take a page out of his book, or take a leaf out of his book. If your book's full of leaves, who knows? Automatic here. He's
What do
on
you
the
call
edge
the
of the
book
smoke.
full of leaves, mate?
What?
The Jungle Book.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, there we go. But another man who's a big fan of being over in Jungle. That's Automatic leading the charge in this retake. The one issue right now is JDM. Keep your eye on him. Eli's doing a fantastic job of holding this bomb site down and buying time. But surely he's not going to be ready for Flusher, who's currently up in the palace. Indeed, he's not. But do they know where JDM is right now? They've cleared out almost everywhere. That smoke going to fall down here towards CT, and JDM attempts to peek over the top, but Automatic holds his own. And Cloud9, they will be on to a 5th round. They find the pistol here in the second half, and now a chance to start to get back into this game.
Exactly what they needed. And that is now both pistols for Cloud9, believe it or not here. They did take the T-side one after all, with Skadoodle winning the one-on-one. He found 4 kills in that, and he's already keeping that composure going forward. 11 to 5. We're not going to see that force buy from EnVy. First round bomb plant as well, so even more reason to go for that 3rd round buy here on the T side. Especially when you have this kind of lead. No point throwing it away with force buys. You are still the underdog. Like, let's not forget the scoreline. Yeah, okay, you're winning, but remember that Cloud9, they have the experience to match. However, Skadoodle, he's already been taken down into this round. EnVy have found a bit of a foot in the door, but do Cloud9 have steel tip boots? We're about to find out.
They, I don't really know the metaphor angle of the steel tip boots.
I said they're going to get the foot
Okay, right. Yeah, okay, there we go. That was good. Okay,
maybe if you were listening to every word I said, Harry, you would have got my joke.
I was
played off of it. But it's okay, don't worry.
I was trying to break it down mentally, and then yeah. Well, Hugo, man, they just might.
Do you have any boot facts for us? Any shoe facts?
Not just off the top of my head. I tell you what, though, they're going to have to go ahead and get their running shoes on here, Hugo, as they progress up through the ramp. Ooh. They're going to try and get past the man under scaffolding right now. That's a rush. Golden, they're going to kill everyone. So glad they didn't go ahead and try and butter us up with a shoe fact or whatever. Do you have any boot facts, Hugo?
No.
Let's have a look. Really. Boot facts.
I don't think that's like a big... kids.kiddle.co/boot has some boot facts. You want to give us some boot facts, Harry?
Yes.
Oh, no, sorry, these are just descriptions of boots. This is under the section types of boots. This is not what we want.
We needed something more reliable.
I don't think you're going
These
to get
aren't
many
facts.
boot
You can't just show me pictures of boots. I know what a boot is. Right, no one ever go to kids.kiddle.co/boot.
Is that a reverse sponsorship?
No, it's a bad website, man. They don't even have any good... Hugo, look, maybe we should instead...
Men were the first to wear heels, Harry. That's a fun fact for you. There's a shoe fact, maybe not a boot fact. But
yeah.
Harry,
That's
as a man
wild.
who owns many pairs of high heels,
Yeah.
can you confirm that?
Well, I mean, I wasn't the first man to wear a heel, so no. But
Okay.
I'm trusting in the website, you know. Here's JDM. And you know what? He is a man who looks great in heels. He's not going to find anything. He backs away. Instead, we're going to look over toward Ely over here in Palace. And he's yet to spot anything out. Now, Rush has already been tagged down earlier on in the round. The rest of the Cloud9 guys just sitting pretty right now. They're going to start to rotate automatic away from this A-bomb site. And actually, this timing could be pretty unfortunate because Ely, he's worked his way forward. He might just get the timing onto Rush, and indeed he does. As he's not normally the man to find entries, is Ely. Normally he's in that 6th slot. He's actually going to immediately get bested by Golden. Golden's still hungry for a little bit more. Does actually lose that fight. Now automatic lying in wait. There's only 15 seconds and he's just going to miss the timing. Drone actually able to find absolutely everything. He shuts down all the Swedes down here towards CT spawn. And now just Skadoodle left up. He does make mincemeat of Drone at least on the opening peak, but now he's got it all to do.
Yeah, and I think he realizes as well. There's 3 players up. They know exactly where he is. Caught in a choke point. Probably not going to be worth it. So retreats back to the CT spawn, puts his feet up, takes his shoes off. And we'll give the round to EnVy. So 12 rounds coming through here. Big round from Drone as well. And one interesting fact is that the first pair of left and right-footed shoes was made in Philadelphia. What I want to know about that is, what happened before? Did they just wear left? Or do they just wear right-footed shoes? And everyone was like, wow, man, my left foot is really uncomfortable in these. God damn, I wish we knew.
Where did you read that from?
Down. Up, there.
The first pair of right and left-fitted shoes. What does that even mean?
It means people just wore...
Before that, it was just shoes. There was no right way to wear them. You know?
Sometimes on your hands.
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes on your knees.
Where does it stop, mate? If there's no left and right, you know, then is there any right and wrong?
This has gotten really deep. Well, Cloud9,
tell you
what's wrong. It's this buy. We have pistols coming out here for the CT side. EnVy looking to decimate this team as they run onto the A-bomb site already. Drone's done exactly that. Continuing his hot performance from the previous round, and he'll find 2. Eco and players, no problem for Drone, as EnVy look to try and take their 13th round on this T side. The nades start flying in, and little damage done, but the majority of damage done to the players of Cloud9. 2 men left standing. Oh, what a flick.
Yeah, sadly. Well, the flick was good. It's going to be the round of the way of EnVy. 13-6, Hugo. And looking like they might get their 2nd win of the season here versus Cloud9. There is at least a buy on the cards now. Cloud9, if they lose this, they're going to have no money into the next. And that's going to be effectively, you either hand over match point to EnVy in the hope that you can win 9 in a row. Or you just, you take the eco. Or sorry, you take the force buy to the very end of this game.
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if we see the latter option there. But they've got to lose this round first, Harry. Maybe that's not even going to happen.
Yeah, well, at least the wall of smokes have gone ahead and kept Cloud9 away. They have absolutely no idea what's going on inside of this A-bomb site, but they know that bomb plant's coming in, and they either find a little bit of damage onto... well, no, but Drone, he's the first man to fall. He maybe overextends a bit down towards CT. That flash doesn't work. There's 3 players there. And now desperately trying to answer back. That's Ely, sadly. He's going to get shut down by Rush, who's found a double on the entry here, but they have to start to pick up the pace. Time is ticked on down. And now as they go running into the moors, JDM, the next man to fall. Golden's good for 1 more, and Nifty in a 1v4. It's just not happening. The defuse is there. Cloud9 going to move on to a 7th at the very least.
A bit of a problem there. That bomb plant was not open at all. That was on the other side of triple. And if we look at those post plants from Envy, they are not for the bomb at all. And that's why we saw so many players from Cloud9 spamming on the balcony, above balcony. They expect better post plants. And Envy, they definitely should have had them. We had Sandwich, we had Ramp, we had Tetris. These are not positions, apart from Tetris, where you can look above the box, depending on the angle, and stop that bomb defusal. So, yeah, okay, it wasn't a problem. They died anyway. But you would definitely hope that next time Envy would be playing that bomb a little bit more. Have a Palace player, have a backside player. Obviously, Underbalk is kind of a difficult spot to run for post plants because you can't just wallbang that from the jungle as a CT side, and Cloud9 did exactly that. So 7 rounds here. They're starting to get back into this one, but they can't afford to be reset. That could be a problem, and Envy have the money to do it. JDM is on that AWP once again. Flusher, bit of a molly to middle, going to go out with it, try and force a kill. Drone going to be moved, and he'll survive with that smoke. Little does he know it, that definitely would have been a death if he didn't smoke that bomb, or not bomb, Molotov. Flusher's still going to find a kill regardless, and Cutler going down as Golden gets tagged up.
Ooh, nifty. Too violent for TV as he does shut down automatic over here in mid. And Ely even going to go ahead and best rush down at ramp. Nifty on a tear down here in middle. He's gone ahead and torn Golden apart. This A bomb site is now ripe for the taking. Just one man here. And that man is Flusher. Going to dub Flusher a man. Ooh, maybe that's underplaying just how talented this individual is. More of a machine in that sense is Flusher. 2 kills to his name already, but he's going to be open to ramp. Not entirely ready for this. He's shut down Nifty, but with so many players here for this Envy side, Flusher is just not ready. Try as he might, winning fight after fight, he's still going to get bested, and now Envy up 14-7. Hugo, there's no money for Cloud9 in this round, no joy for them either. As they have to make that awkward call. Do you go for the force? Do you go for the eco? And they're going to force buy into it.
It's against 14 rounds. Doesn't make much sense to eco this, especially after just getting reset in that previous round. So, yeah, you're going to want to buy here if you're Cloud9. Problem is, this is how Envy probably close out the game. If they don't lose to these pistols and SMGs. A couple of rifles in there as well. Harry, do you class a scout as a rifle? Or is that a whole different category?
I don't know, mate. Do you count a plane as a car? It's got wheels, doesn't it? And it drives. Can.
Is that definition of a car? Wheels and drives? Can you confirm?
I don't know.
Why don't you just type Google into Google? I saw that.
What's the car?
Just type car definition, mate.
Right. Oh, no. Let's
Either
focus
way,
on this at least.
Envy, they're going to need to put their pedal to the metal up on this A bomb site. We've got the split coming through. Look at that bomb. It's only a fake from Envy. A 3-man fake commitment to that A bomb site, and Cloud9 are fully stacked up for it. They are going hook, line, and sinker, and Ely, he is swimming in frags, taking Golden down over in the connector, even following up. This man is so good. Get off that coach roll. Start playing some more CS. Because Envy, they've just walked into that B bomb site. Cloud9 are completely sold for it. Skadoodle going to run back up on realization, but knowing is half the battle. JDM plucks him out of the window, and just like that, Flusher in a 1v3. He may be able to catch one, but this round's too much to ask for.
Yeah, he's not Mr. Ely, mate. He's Mr. Steely, in the sense that he's stealing this round away from you once again, Cloud9. 15-7, rather. Going to be the scoreline here, as Envy is about to get their 2nd win in the season, just 1 round away from making it so. And yes, Hugo, by the way, a definition of a car is just a moving vehicle on wheels. So in a sense, a plane is a car.
In some times, yeah, contextually, a plane can be a car. That's so weird. Isn't a bike a car? That's a moving vehicle on wheels.
Yeah, maybe that definition is a little too loose.
Yeah, I don't believe that definition. What website?
Go ahead and get at Hugo on social media using the hashtag ESL Pro League. You can see it on the screen right there. Let us know, what is a car?
Car is part of all of us, Harry.
I think deep down we're all a car.
Yeah, secretly.
I mean, some of us in secret, Hugo.
See, here, Oxford Dictionary has a better definition. A road vehicle, typically with 4 wheels, powered by an internal combustion engine and able to carry a small amount of people. That already cuts out bikes, that already cuts out planes, but will Envy cut down Cloud9 here in round 23? That's what we want to know. Flusher, he doesn't want to give them the control, but he's been flashed out in mid. Got to hide down here in the depths below. Drone has not spotted this play, and Flusher, he's going to throw nades. That'll give away his position. Drone knows exactly where he is, but there's still a man in the connector to worry about. Drone They turn his attention after that one frag. It's not chased up. Ely going to burst through the palace, and this man is a machine up on the A bomb site.
Yeah, Ely's just cutting down major winners right now, can I just say. And he's looking fantastic while he does it. Skadoodle and Automatic left on up. Ooh, JDM gonna go ahead and get rid of Skadoodle. Now he's been the real point to write home about for Cloud9. It all falls onto Automatic in a 1v4. And not only that, he's got to ace it if he wants to pick this round up for the Swedish North American roster. Automatic creeping on forward first. Going to win this fight over here in mid. He does dispatch of drone at the very least. I bet he wishes he was just an unmanned tool of destruction right now and that he didn't have to try and win this out on his own. A 1v3. Pushing on in. Half that timer ticked on down and no kit either. Going to make this start to feel mighty impossible. Nifty holding close. And Automatic, they're not giving him any way of getting back into this round. Everyone's just hiding. JDM's there to delete him, and that will be EnVyUs picking up their second win in the Pro League thus far over Cloud9 here on this first map. Hugo, how are you feeling at the end of this one?
Pretty huge win for Envy, all things considered. Yeah, okay, you can talk about the ping for Cloud9, not even that bad. 90 ping, that should have been a winnable game for them, but we saw some great plays from Team Envy. JDM, massive rounds. We had, you know, especially Ely on the coach role. He's just been playing great here for this team. So, yeah, moving forward, I'm looking at this 2-0 for Envy. They're looking damn good. Cloud9 not looking like their normal self, and only Skadoodle fragging.
Yeah, Envy's looking good. Cloud9's looking flat. Will they be able to bring it back in map number 2? Find out after the break.